Hey guys, welcome back to the Mac Music Verse, part 1. Today we're going to be looking at another Pogo album. I know, guys, Pogo, nobody's really listened to him, nobody really cares, but I care. And somebody watching this probably cares, hopefully, maybe Pogo himself. Today we're looking at the Pogo album star charts. Back before I did the YouTube thing, I reviewed 4 Pogo albums in writing, and those albums are in chronological order, not necessarily the order that I reviewed them in, but in the order of years they were released in chronologically. Star Charts, Kindred Shadow, Weightless, and Ascend. And my favorite of those was easily Ascend, and my least favorite of those was very easily Star Charts. I thought Star Charts was really underwhelming, just very mediocre compared to the other albums, and that's mostly because, in my opinion, this one didn't have some really awesome highlights, and even the ones that I'm not crazy about, the one I'm not crazy about, specifically Weightless, it has some really awesome songs on it, and this one I was like, there's not really highlights. Listening to it today, I was kind of baffled by my original negativity I had towards this album because it definitely has highlights, but it also has flaws. The flaws I have with this album are specifically 2 songs that I really dislike, and then 2 songs that I also kind of dislike. The 2 songs I really don't like on this thing are Bang Monkey and Hermione Mix, and just from the titles you should be able to tell I don't like these songs. Bang Monkey has really abrasive, annoying vocal and audio samples that are just like, it's not fun, it's just annoying, and it really frankly just doesn't sound good. And Hermione Mix is one of those Pogo songs, and he has a bunch of these where the mixing just doesn't sound great in terms of the audio samples and stuff, kind of like Bang Monkey, but less like, on the nose cringe and more like subtly cringe, which almost makes it worse. But I'm not a fan of these 2 tracks. And the other 2 weaker songs on this thing are Do Something Rhythmic, which I think is a one-trick pony, and he has a couple of those songs which are kind of one-noted, but it just, for me, this one's not really working. One of his one-note songs that doesn't really do it for me. And then Into the Arc, which definitely isn't a bad song in a production standpoint, but the vocal chops used on this one, the vocal samples, just aren't doing it for me. I'm happy to say that there are some serious highlights, some songs which I'm really loving, specifically Simagism. That song is awesome. That's one of my favorite Pogo songs, and I'm just now rediscovering it for this review, which is one of the reasons I love reviewing albums, Even albums that I don't initially like, and I'm not a huge fan of this album, but this is such a great song. Also, the song Feather Funk is awesome. Feather Funk is a great song. One Day With You is really good. Cause Groove is one of the harder songs, goes in a more EDM direction, and I think it works pretty well. One Mushroom Too Many, the closer, is pretty solid, as well as The Climb. The rest of this album, minus the ones I'm not crazy about, is actually pretty good, including Freedom Flavored. That one has a cool outro, a little bit dynamic, and the album has some good stuff on here. I hate to say that this is one of the weaker Pogo albums, but it's definitely, in my opinion, one of the weaker Pogo albums, just in terms of, and even the highlights on this thing, I would say, are not as high. I kind of, so that part of my initial review, why it didn't stick in my mind, why it didn't leave a positive impression, is mostly true, even though, and the opening song, I don't know if I already mentioned it, One Day With You is really good, but this one it's short, it's 30 minutes long, 11 tracks, and in my opinion, just overall has enough bumps in the road for it to not be a great album or a really good album. But I do think it is a good album. I think it's solid. I think there's good stuff here. There's just a couple songs you want to skip, a couple songs you want to cut out, and then you have like 25 minutes, less than 25 minutes of good content. So a couple songs that you might add to your playlist. Definitely adding to my Pogo playlist when I make one. Anyway, I'm going to give it 3 stars out of 5. That's all I got for you guys today. Pogo. Listen to more Pogo. He's good. I'm going to keep recommending Pogo because people don't listen to Pogo. People don't know about Pogo. He's literally, in my opinion, one of the best electronic music artists working today. Even though his most recent stuff hasn't been awesome. He did that one song, Mazel Tov, which I love. It's a good song. Thanks for watching the video. Have a great rest of your day.